Hello and welcome back to the RiftGuides WildRift video. For today we are going to take a look at the newly released Kalista, and I'll let you know what you need to know about this champion and every little detail that you want to know about this champion so you can finally play this champion with your pre-made. This is a very important disclaimer. As of this moment, without a hotfix or buffed Kalista, do not play this champion in solo queue, you'll be in absolute agony. Also, this champion is not that easy and intuitive than other AD carries, so please stay away from her if you do not practice this enough. So, without any further ado, let's get into this video and let's explain the abilities. First off, we have a passive ability called Martial Poise. When Kalista winds up her attack, moving the left joystick will cause her to dash for a short distance in that direction after she throws her spear. When the game starts, she can choose an ally to become her Oath Sworn. Kalista cannot change her Oath Sworn. Once Kalista launches her attacks, they cannot be cancelled. Her dash speed and distance scales with boot tier. Okay, let's take a good look. You see, this is how it works. You throw your auto attack and then you jump. Let's sell the boots. Let's see how much I can jump. Let's place this wood here. Now let's buy tier 1 boots. A little bit further, you see. And now buy tier 2 boots. It's a little bit rough here. I mean, it's a little bit further, but it's all about the attack speed, so you go really fast. And about this mechanic here, this is actually quite a big issue. You use this sword on an ally in this bar there below. However, if you cast it, you need to have it channel completely, which takes several seconds. And casting it will actually make you be late for lane. You will not be able to contest these brushes for an early level 1 because you stay in base for too long by casting this. And there's no way around it, and I really hope it gets fixed. Now, her first ability. Pierce. Hurls a spear dealing damage to enemy champions to the first target, and if it kills the target, the spear continues onward, carrying the target's rend stacks to the next enemy hit. After casting this ability, Kalista can dash using Martial Poise. So what can this do for you? Let me quickly reset the cooldown on 1 second and show you something. I can just go over walls with this, you see? And how does it work with the stack transfer? I deal too much damage, you see there's 1 stack. Stacks have been transferred. I have full items. I forgot about that one. My bad. But yeah, generally speaking, you get the idea that this ability will be able to just hit through minions and allow you to transfer stacks easily. This can be used in multiple ways. For example, in the laning phase, you can hit those minions. Maybe I can emulate this one. I should probably just remove all my items so I don't have too much damage. I should... where is the bots? Where are the minions? Come on. Am I blind? Yeah, I'm blind. Okay, spawn minions. Okay. Minions, come on. I need you. I need you. Okay. Where is the enemy champion? So I can just show you the typical thing. Yeah, leave me in peace, Misfortune bot. Come on, don't die to minions, brother. Okay. You see? I will hit this here a few times. Now I go for a poke, and it resets. That is the idea. And about the carrying stuff, you see, now she has all the stacks, and I can just rent them away. Okay, cool. Now we move over to the next one. The next ability, which is going to be Kalista's second ability, the Sentinel. Passive. When the distance between Kalista and her Oath Sworn is less than 8 and both hit the same target within 4 seconds, using attacks or pierce, Kalista deals 14% of the target's maximum health as bonus magic damage. This effect has a 10-second cooldown. Active. Sends out a Soul Sentinel to patrol an area. Upon spotting an enemy champion, the Sentinel follows them for 4 seconds, revealing them for 4 seconds. Sentinels disappear after patrolling 3 laps. Charge. Kalista gains a charge every 45 seconds, storing up to 2 charges. This ability's passive deals at least 75 damage against minions and executes them if they are below 125. And as you see, it scales up to 17%. So you place down this little fella here and let it chill in a brush where you expect the enemy jungle to come from, and it walks these little laps. So in the bot lane department, you just send them into a river when you think the enemy is on a gank timer, and you really hope that this cone is going to reveal them. However, you need to be careful because you can obviously avoid this cone here, and if you avoid the cone, you will not be visible. And this way you can give the enemy, or basically false confidence, because they will not know you're coming. Okay, next ability. We have the Rend. Passive. Only the Kalista spears linger in their target for 4 seconds, applying a stack of Rend. Active. Kalista rips the spears from nearby enemies, dealing physical damage, plus more damage per stack on the enemy champion. It also slows enemy champions. If this ability at least kills 1 target, its cooldown is refreshed and refunds 12 mana. Deals 50% to epic monsters. Why only 50% to epic monsters? Because otherwise you would not be able to outsmite Kalista, who puts like 100 spears into a target. And if you've seen this earlier, I hit this misfortune quite a lot, but let's do it again here. Let's stack some spears, put it to like 300 HP. Okay, now look at my cooldown. I'll put it on... and there was an instant reset on my cooldown. Now for the last ability, we have to talk about Fate's Call, which is basically Kalista's most broken ability. Kalista puts her Oathsworn into stasis and draws them into herself for up to 4 seconds. The Oathsworn can be launched or can launch themselves in a direction, knocking nearby enemies airborne for 1 second upon hitting the first enemy champion. The Oathsworn then ricochets for a distance based on their maximum attack range. It has a cooldown of 80 seconds on rank 1 and 60 on the highest rank, and the knockup duration, which cannot be reduced in this game unless you buy Quicksilver, is 1 second on level 1, 1.5 on level 2, and 2 seconds on level 3. And with the current damage in the game, knocking somebody up for 2 seconds means instant death. So they are instantaneously gone from this planet. So when it comes about combos, keep in mind, you jump over walls here. That's your most primary thing. You need to be very much aware, like, which wall can be jumped over. Apparently, for some reason, some work and some don't. Like, you gotta practice which wall is easy for you to cross. And that way you can just maneuver around the rift. Like, for example, you want to go for a bot lane dive and you don't know what's happening, you just jump over the wall here, and yeah, hello! And the enemy is probably dead. You can also use this to jump over the wall, press your ult, reel your ally in, and then just throw them into the tower for an easy kill. I said earlier, you just Rend stack on enemies. You basically just want to get a quick little reset on your ability. Let's showcase this here again. You stack so many here, then you hit another one, you Rend, you get a Rend reset, as you see. For the most burst combo you can ask for is just auto attack, you auto attack E, and then you just walk away. Another nice thing is, as Kalista, if you auto attack, it's very interesting because your auto attack always goes through. It cannot be cancelled unless you get CC'd. Which means that if you flash away, your auto attack will still connect and you can still Rend. But yeah, for laning, generally speaking, how about maxing abilities? First off, you want to usually start with your third ability or your second ability. The reason for a second ability is the following. It is 14% bonus magic damage of the entire enemy's maximum HP. That is quite a lot. And it also helps you clear the wave a lot faster. That is very, very important when it comes to lane dominance. Your third ability, Rend, can also be used in an early stage of the game, but the damage of this ability as of right now is very underwhelming, so you really need to keep that in mind. Your first ability is probably one of the strongest abilities of your champion because of the high scaling it has. Because take a good look. You have a 105 AD scaling with a 50 base plus 60 per level. So on PC, there used to be a time where you actually played Lethality Kalista, but now let's talk about items for a second. Well, let's start with the runes, okay? First off, you probably need Lethal Tempo every single time. Without Lethal Tempo, your life will be absolutely miserable in many instances, because PTA right now in its current version feels very underwhelming. For your other runes, you can run with Brutal, because you'll run Blade Rune King anyway, Giant Slayer and Alacrity. But you have to make a decision if you want attack speed boots, or if you want Gluttonous Grease, so you have to choose. And for your last rune, you want Sudden Impact, because of the following. Look at my thing. I keep on jumping, right? And that way this rune will give you so much extra damage. However, you're a lot squishier. So what can you do to mitigate current Kalista's weaknesses? You can actually run a full Resolve first tree. You can go full tank Kalista in runes because your champion's primary purpose is to survive lane early on, and then take over the game with superior CC with Fate's Call, because you allow your support to always find an angle to go in. You always provide the support with a knockup, making it impossible for the enemy to escape, and you can also use it as a line of defense. So, there are multiple build ideas. You have Blade of the Rune King into very tanky compositions, dealing very high damage into high health champions. Then I would recommend going for Runan's Hurricane on this one. And this here, with Terminus afterwards, is probably one of the highest DPS builds you can ask for, with a very high attack speed. Because look at the attack speed. You cannot really be caught, because look, you're so fast, you cannot be caught in any way. It's not possible. However, your damage is not that high, because look at the damage on the dummy. It's mainly because of Blade of the Rune King's on-hit damage, so keep that in mind. But the biggest drawback of this one is you actually lose HP. And then after this, you can complete the build with Titanic Hydra and Starex. Because AD carries right now are way too squishy. You need HP, and even with these two tanky items... Let me give you my full level. I don't really have that much HP. 2.9k is not that much considering the investment I just made. Also, since you're not dealing so much physical damage, you have barely any vamp, because yeah, especially in the early stages where you only have blades, since your attacks are not going to hit very high, and all the other items you build have no crit, your sustain will be a little bit lower. So I would actually prefer if you go for a crit-oriented build. I believe that you go for Bloodthirster for the highest AD item possible. So it's literally on purchase, you have 65 AD, a little bit more probably, plus 10% attack speed, and the 12 vamp. And if you compare this to Blade of the Rune King, Blade of the Rune King has 20 AD. So you have a 45 AD increase, which you have to keep in mind. However, you lose the attack speed, the 35% attack speed, compared to 10 with the bonus being active. So you have to keep that in mind. Runans, from my perspective, is mandatory to clear waves. However, there is probably a world in which you can debate going for Phantom Dancer. Phantom Dancer basically taking care of every attack speed issue you ever had at any point, making you literally a speed demon. Alternatively, if you do not like this and want to go for even more raw damage, you can chip in IE already, because then your attacks will deal quite a lot of damage, but you see you attack quite slowly in comparison. And then afterwards, it's again, how do you want to complete your build? Because I believe Kalista, to function properly, needs Runan's Hurricane. She needs it. There's no way around it. But now you can think about other alternative items that make you tankier. But again, if you go for a crit build, it feels very weird not to have decked out crits. So you can do these interesting things, and also take a good look that you can't build Black Cleaver and Terminus together, which is very interesting. But yeah, you need to go for these items that make you tankier, because otherwise you just disappear. And from this perspective, you can go for Shield Bow as an item, and then you can make a decision. because you have Runan's Hurricane, you obviously do not have 100% crit, so do you want to have Terminus? Because Terminus will add you, will grant you so much attack speed on top. Like, let's just take a look here. If you look how fast you get with the attacks, does that make a significant difference compared to getting, where is my mortal terrible minder? I am blind, so here we are. So here we have mortal minder, mortal terrible reminder. Is it even noticeable? I don't think it's even noticeable. But yeah, the issue is you have less than 2k HP on max level. And if you have faced a set recently, a set one-hit me with 2100 damage just killing me. So yeah, that is quite the issue. However, I believe Kalista will be buffed because this champion is not playable in solo queue, and Riot doesn't like if a champion isn't necessarily playable in solo queue. But this will lead to an issue. Kalista is a champion you do not want to blind pick as of right now. You do not want to. However, with Riot's idea of making champions blind pickable, it is very likely that this champion is going to get overbuffed. And if we just go back and just take a look at the base stats on level 1. Reset level. She has 6680, 600 HP, 3480 armor. And you see, is this even a lot? This is supposed to be a lane bully. So, will this be enough? And I don't think so. And I think you really need some changes. So this champion can be played in solo queue, but again, this makes me very much afraid of the fact that life will be unbearable because this champion will be too broken. So yeah, I think this concludes... Oh, yeah, skill order. Before I troll and skill order. You want to max your third ability first. You want to have one, like, starting the game, you probably start with this into this. Or you go from this into this. Alternatively, you can also go from this into this. This all works. But level up wise, you want to level up your third ability the earliest, then you want to level up your first ability, then you level up the second ability, and yet you ult whenever you have a point. So that covers this one. For summoner spells, you most of the time will run Flash and Exhaust. And now we'll go over into the gameplay. I played some games with a few friends. These games are very interesting, so yeah, stay tuned for some interesting action, and we'll hop right into the other action now. And now we are in the game, and first off, I'm going to show you the issue with binding. You see the cooldown of like counting down? You need to stay there until this cooldown goes down, and now you can move again. And these seconds are already vital compared to like getting to the lane. This is very, very important from my perspective, and I think this needs to be fixed and needs to be done faster. Because yeah, well, you just get absolutely dumpstered. And for the laning phase, we are going to play against, I think it was Pyke and Kalista. Getting this champion in a ranked game is impossible, so well, what do? We just play custom normal games. The magical hooker comes around the corner and we just deal some nice damage. Enemy Kalista knows that she can't really walk up. Started with her first ability, if I'm not mistaken. We just go for a quick little ward here, have our Pantheon on the move. And if I remember this game correctly, I die a few times for very big sins by the Pantheon, but we take those. Generally speaking, again, it was close to death. Looking for potential damage numbers here on the enemy champion, but the issue is like this champion is, in the early game, very weird compared to other champions. Damage-wise, you see, like, I'm trying to deal damage, but I'm not like Lucian or anyone. Like, I do not really have the ability to just instantly go in and deal 50 billion K damage. For that, the champion doesn't do enough, and the range feels a little bit too low for that one, from my perspective, at least. However, I think it's okay that the champion isn't broken. Look at all these trails of Glacial Augment. It's so crazy. I think, was this stealth buffed? Because I don't remember it being that way. And look at the auto attack range just going from Narnia. And it's so weird playing this champion. But yeah, generally speaking, your champion is very well paired with an all-in champion, and you want to poke as much as possible. However, you're very susceptible to these enemy engages because, yeah, at the early stages of the game, he got a flash on me, he does flash on me, the enemy master, he appears here, I don't even have to flash, I just exhausted instantly when I saw this, but now the Manthian is also here, and we see it's an absolute massacre. The bot lane extravaganza, the Pantheon, just absolutely claps them. The Nautilus flashes forward and the stun connects here. It's bot lane, there's always a party. It never stops. And yeah, at some point, you'll be like, yeah, I guess I should just always flash. And now the Manthian, oh no, the Manthian is doing the Manthian thing. So guys, what do you believe? Who is going to die for this one? Is it him or is it me? Master Yi at the scene now. Nautilus being attacked here, then he gets denied. Look, I am the one paying for the sins. We were on voice comms and this game was like, please do not go in. And like under the tower, and then like all of them came and I'm like, I paid for your sins. I hate you. But it's fine. It's okay. It's all fun and games. The funniest thing about Kalista, which you probably will see a little bit later, is the amount of CC you can dish out. It's such crazy amounts of CC. It's borderline insanity. And when it comes to just generally playing this champion, I believe that the on-hit version is simply not good enough. Like, I talked about multiple builds a little bit earlier in the video, in the guide part, but I think right now, the on-hit is simply not worth it. And do you see the mark on these minions? Every single time he gets the ability to just hit these minions and deal so much extra damage. Here I tried to snipe the minion to get some spear stacks on an enemy champion. And yeah, this Pyke is barely taking any damage because yeah, Pyke is Pyke champion. And it's not the most loveliest thing ever. You see he has 2 Ren stacks in him. And nothing will ever happen. One of the things that are very weird when you play a mirror matchup is you have to obviously think about the ability of the enemy champion to basically do the same as you do. And yeah, I'm just really curious what they will do with Kalista. Because I do not think... Look at all these zones here, can't move. I pull them in just in case, you just disappear into the void. Nautilus is on the way. And just generally you have to be very careful about Pyke. Like, your champion is so vulnerable. I take turret aggro for like 1 second, which means I have to walk away. I cannot walk any closer because he can just ignite... What did I say? He can just ignite me and then he can ult me and now I have to walk away. Now I have to walk away all the way. Look at him. He even flashed after me because he thought I was in that brush so he can execute me. Look at this demon goblin. And in this game I tested Terminus as a rush item and again, it didn't feel like the proper option, honestly. It really did not feel good at all. So yeah, I didn't do so. And they're really going crazy outside with the sounds. Collecting a dragon here, enemy team gets the Herald, not the best of trades, but yeah. Maybe we can go for a cheeky little play on the Kalista if the Pyke is being spotted on the Herald. And whenever you have ult on Kalista, it basically means you'll get a kill. So, since already, like, some time has passed since Kalista released, right? What are your experiences with the champion so far? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? What do you like? What do you dislike? What would you wish to change for this champion? Nautilus ult coming in. Kalista, you picked AD carry. And the thing is, Nautilus is always safe, because worst case scenario, I can just ult him. And if I just ult him, what is the enemy supposed to do? Because think about this. I'll just reset the turret aggro with this, and nothing will happen. It's very, very unfair. So if you play against Kalista Nautilus and you play a roaming support, you need to understand that your AD carry will die on cooldown unless he has wave clear abilities. And even then, he might just get straight up dove because the Kalista ultimate is such a massive gap closer. When it comes to fights, we now have our first tower down. Up there, and there's still platings available. So there's no reason for us to stay up there, because we want to accelerate the game and get some extra money to our bank, we just go for a quick rotation onto the little Doge down there. And this Doge doesn't know what's about to happen to him. We'll just find him. Collecting the cannon, very important for the mental health. And he's gonna bonk my head. I think I'm completely fine, but this guy bonks my head so badly, it's so much damage. But yeah, there's no escape. Gets killed, and now we start hitting on these platings on the bottom lane. Another 30 seconds of time left. And if you see like how much time I need to clear wave, I think you understand why I really want Runon's Hurricane. Why is Fiora just stealing our stuff here? Criminal. And also, Runon's Hurricane applies your Ren stacks on every single one, making you deal a lot of extra damage if they choose to buff the ability. And now we obviously just recall because we achieved what we wanted to achieve, and now we go for another rotation to not get ourselves stuck on the map. We want to push the map forward, and he'll take my bounty. This will be mine. 27 gold for a death? I take those. No, you really don't. And now we find the Doge again, because keep in mind, we just went bot lane to clear the bot lane wave. Then we rotate back, and now we wait for the Nasus to overextend. We just wait for him to walk a little bit further into the lane so we can just run him down, because the wave is in a very bad spot for him. And yeah, well, the Doge is on the run again, and the bros are around the corner. There's so many here. I can just stand still and enjoy my time. The Pike is on the other side of the map, but look at the damage. Look at what he just did to me, and my Rent did barely any damage. Now I'm out of the fight, because if the Pike sees me, I just dissipate into the void. And I have Terminus, by the way. I have Terminus and attack speed, and this guy simply didn't die because he had plated steel caps and Heartsteel. How crazy is that? So, even if you can make the argument, yeah, you should just kite from Narnia range, well, technically speaking, I should deal some damage at some point. But yeah, this is one of the issues that I mean, that on-hit damage is definitely feeling very weak. Unless you really get all the items, and even then you cannot really be competitive with any other AD carry that builds crit, because the enemy AD carry will simply just kill you, because, well, crit is very cool. Now, I spotted the Kalista, I say, I have an idea, and we just use my ultimate, I just flash over the wall, kill the enemy AD carry, spot the enemy AD carry, he is here, we spot the enemy, we just jump over the wall, and he also dies. The potential of this champion is so high, like the playmaking potential is so goddamn high, that you'll be surprised what this champion can do. Still, I think currently her biggest strength is her ultimate ability. It makes it so potent, especially if people do not pay attention. Because if you reel someone in, you see a sign above their head. And this sign tells them that the ally is simply just inside of them, and you can just go out then. And here we have a big problem. Uh-oh, I looked for a fight and my brain was too slow to realize maybe I should have just taken the blast cone. Uh-oh, and he's being ran down as well, and they're on the hunt here. Meanwhile, the Fiora and the Nasus having some time. I don't even know what Fiora did. I didn't even notice here. But yeah, playing champion, having some fun with the new champion, seeing how good she is, and I think I can tell you, don't play this champion unless you're in duo queue. Please do not. And make sure to be in a position to properly communicate. Because if you can't communicate, this champion loses so much power. Because you need your AD carry, your support to be on literally the same page as you are. If you're not, it's quite impossible to achieve anything meaningful. Because yeah, you just get absolutely blasted. But you can go for some cheeky plays if you want to. Like if you're on voice, you can really do the most crazy stuff. Like, you can just use your ultimate to just yeet them in and look for potential plays. And it's just very important that you spot these situations, because your champion, like Kalista, is a champion that wants to get ahead and wants to snowball, like similar to Draven, right? However, she lacks the damage that Draven has, but has the ability to use her ultimate to completely change the outcome of a game. And he's telling me, ult me onto the Aurelion Soul. We spot the Pike up there, now we see the Aurelion Soul. I need to proc his crown or reel him in. But now, is it going to be too late? Aurelion Soul being spotted here. Oh, it's the autocast moment. He got absolutely doomed. And now the big shockwave of the Aurelion Soul comes and deals so much damage. I have to run away again because Pike exists. One of the biggest downsides with this build I'm running here is barely any sustain, which is the biggest issue, especially in this type of meta where there's too much damage. You need tankiness, you need sustain, you need everything, and you simply don't have access to everything. And I believe right now it's probably going back to either the mage-like AD carries that are just simply outranging these mages, or you play mages yourself because they are horrendously overtuned. And don't even let me get started about jungle champions. It is absurd. Here we just jump over the wall. Aurelion Sol doesn't know. Hello! Utilizing these little tricks at all times is very powerful. Oh, my Nautilus is having some trouble in the enemy jungle. Gets pike ulted, and now I have a big problem. I get yeeted, I flash, I really hope I don't die. The pike plays always with the flash, the Nasus is now on my head. Will I die? I will die, but the Kalista nearly dies as well. Will my Fiora finally do some... Hello? Why are you running? Fiora? No, Pantheon, look at me. What was Fiora doing? I really do not know. He was sneaking. He truly was sneaking. And yeah, I'm just simply looking for items because this is one of the first games I've played. I played, I think, like 5 to 6 games on this champion to get an idea, and I think if you want to play this champion, you probably have to go crit, in all honesty. I think crit is the only way you can make this champion work because your time to kill needs to be very low. You cannot live this fantasy of being on hit and just kiting people around. There's too much damage in the game. You do not get to kite people around like crazy. You need high damage and you need the mobility as well. You need both at the same time. And if you do not have both, you'll be in absolute agony constantly, and this is something you truly do not want to have in your games because it just makes so much variance and you just don't want to have it. Like on the move here with Edge of Night, the Aurelion Sol ult comes in, we sidestep this, the Nautilus is in the front line, having the Zeke's convergence, we need to be really careful. Now we look for an angle with my ult, are in the front line again, I split apart to the left side, avoid the pike so barely. If that one hits me, I'm just simply that I don't have any defensive tools, and we simply cannot find an engage here. Nautilus uses Hex Flash over the wall, the pike is getting cheated and instantly killed. Now we can start the rundown here, getting the slow into the Nasus as well, but the Aurelion Sol draw thing is so annoying. Now we have the fantasy again where we just deal so much damage with on hit, but we need to be really careful because we are so squishy. But you see, like, the mobility in fights is so crazy if you actually get to be mobile. Because, like, anything that touches me kills me. So just don't get hit, forehead. Yeah, but if it only was that easy to not just get hit. Yeah. This will be a Baron Nashor angle, we just get some vision. I wanted to Young just grab for healing, but I guess this is not an option. Enemy and team is entirely dead, only Aurelion Sol alive, and this will be a nice reset angle. And I'm really, like, I'm looking forward to seeing what people who spam this champion think when they get some more time with this champion, or if they simply drop this champion. Because, like, for example, with Talon, this champion was horrendously, it was insane, and people need to just take some time and learn the champion. I think similar things apply to this champion, however, since you're playing lane and not jungle, you do have matchups that you can't play, making the champion very, very difficult to be piloted. And we have some outside action, and I actually have to go and close this because apparently the guys outside choose to, yeah, just do some wood cutting. Sorry for the sounds, and yeah. My dear Jesus, I nearly died to this as well. But yeah, this champion is best played forward. Sorry for the other sounds. Maybe I'll mute them. I don't know. I'll see. And yeah, it is absolutely nuts what is happening. But yeah, I truly believe the on-hit fantasy is not a thing you want to follow through with. It simply doesn't do enough. But satisfaction-wise, like, this champion is so fun to play if you get to play, which is the issue. Like, this champion is so fun, but yeah, only if you play. And look, Aurelion Sol was here, like, do you know who's behind the corner? And now we have, like, all the on-it items, and we now go for even more on-it items for fun. Because now, if you want to survive, you need to build tank items. Because this is basically the drain tech fantasy, right? You just go for like all these on-it items, and then you go for tank items to make sure you even get to hit, because it's then about just living longer to deal more damage. But it's very, very, very difficult with this champion. Looking for this angle here, ulting him in, flashing forward, no mercy, protect as well, popping off, and we go in for this play. The Aurelion Soul spits into my face, we try to avoid this, and he just... I hate Rileys! It's so broken. Oh! He just got blown up. Poor guy. And yeah, back onto the map, looking for some juicy games and some juicy plays. Finding the Aurelion Soul, look... Like, I just get tagged by literally air, and I lose so much life for no reason. I have to use my ability, but the crown is being popped. Crown is being popped. Now we have an angle. We find the Aurelion Soul. We find all of them. They all instantly die. We all collapse them. Do you see how low the time to kill was because the crown was procced? And this will mark the end of this game. The enemy cannot defend themselves anymore. But it is so borderline insane. Master Yi going crazy. We have the lethal tempo stacked and the Terminus. We are zooming and the Master Yi just disappeared. Oh no, Pantheon. Pantheon. Oh, he wanted to go for the combo, but couldn't make it work. Now we want to go for the Kalista. Ah, didn't get the kill. Feels bad, man. And now we're gonna just take a look at the damage, because it's like, it feels similar to Zeri in the sense that your damage looks very low, but if you just take a closer look, it's a lot higher than you believe. But again, I want to be really, really clear. Do not blind pick this champion. Make sure to pick this champion into specific matchups, and do not, I repeat, do not just think that this champion is completely broken, and please give the crit build a try rather than the on-hit build. I think that's a way better choice to make this champion work. However, that's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment. Make sure to boost the algorithm, and we'll see each other for new RiftGuides content very soon. Bye bye.